Good morning, my dear students, and welcome to the world of electronics. This morning class, I am tasked to discuss Lesson 1 of Module 2 under ALX 111, which is Electronic Devices, Instruments, and Circuits. The Lesson 1 class tackles all about resistors. For your information class, resistors are the most commonly used electronic devices in electronics technology. As what you can see here in this electronic board, that there are lots of resistors and only few capacitors, inductors, transformers, diodes, ICs, and other components. This would mean, class, that it is very essential for us to study the behavior and characteristics of resistors in a circuit. Resistors, by the way, class, is an electronic device designed to control the flow of electric current in an electronic circuit. It also drops voltage and dissipates heat. Resistor actually has its resistance. Resistance, by the way, class, is an electrical amount of resistor in ohms, kilo ohms, mega ohms, giga ohms, and tera ohms. So there are two kinds of resistors. There are fixed resistors and the variable resistors. These resistors are called fixed in the sense that the resistance cannot be varied. If we try to measure it using this multimeter, we will just set the red selector switch to ohm meter and select 1 kilo ohm range of this ohm meter. You have to short first and set the zero ohm adjuster to 0 to have an accurate reading. When you measure the resistance of this resistor here, which is so-called fixed resistor, remember that resistor is non-polarized. You can connect the ohmmeter test rods in either of the direction or polarity, because there is no polarity as what I have said for this resistor. It is a non-polarized resistor. The pointer here, or the reflection pointer, deflects and registers the amount of resistance, which is 1.8 kilo ohms. So it is fixed in the sense that although it is under the exposure of light or the intensity of heat, or even you touch it, but the resistance retains the same. Whereas for the variable resistor, if you are going to connect the two test rods of this ohmmeter to the two terminals of this variable resistor, okay, rotating the rotor shaft will also vary the resistance. Okay, we have here just like that. Okay, so as you rotate the rotor shaft of this potentiometer or variable resistor, the resistance also will vary from 0 ohm to 5 kilo ohms, for example. If the resistance of this variable resistor is 5 kilo ohms, no? That is why it is called variable resistor, because the resistance is not fixed. It can be varied. Remember that variable resistors are commonly used in any electronic equipment. For example, this one. This controls of this oscilloscope. There are lots of controls here which are of variable resistors, specifically potentiometers, because this is potentiometer. Okay? By the way, under fixed resistors, there are several types. We have here carbon composition resistor, carbon film resistor, precision resistor, wire wound resistor, cemented film wire wound resistor, fusible resistor, metal oxide film resistor, and there are still another two resistors which are called network resistor and chip resistor. Network resistor, by the way, class, is a series of two or more resistors, just like this. This is now the symbol of resistor, wherein two or more resistors are connected in series. There are actually 4 terminals. They are encapsulated with plastic. The resistors are of different resistances. Like for example, this one here is 1 kilo ohm. This one here is 500 ohms. Then this one here is 2 mega ohms. It is networked in the sense that these 3 resistors are working together. They are connected in series. So we call this resistor as network resistor. And another resistor, which is also fixed resistor, is this one. There are lots of chip resistor. Chip resistor. The black colors, no? Those black colors. It is called chip resistors in the sense the resistance is embedded in a certain silicon material, no? Silicon material serve as a substrate of this, for example, carbon material that will provide resistance of that resistor. The resistance is indicated or labeled on the surface, although it is very miniaturized, but we can still read it using magnifying glass, no? For example, it is indicated there 103. 103 actually is the numerical code of resistance. The third digit, which is 3, indicates the number of zeros. So 10 plus 103. So 3 indicates the number of zeros, meaning it is 10,000 ohms or 10 kilo ohms. And we can tell that this is resistor because adjacent to this resistor, there is an indication of R10 or R12. That would mean it is a resistor because if it is a capacitor, it will be indicated with C12, C10. Or if it is an inductor, it is L3, L4. So, it goes like that, no? Actually, chip resistors now are the most commonly used type of resistors in any latest technology, such as this one, DVD player, LED TV board, cellular phones. If you try to open that case of that cell phone, then you can see the board of that cellular phone, and there are lots of chip resistors. Okay. So these are the types of resistors, fixed resistors. Under variable resistors, we have here, because there are 2 types of variable resistors. These are the potentiometer and the rheostat. We have here the rheostat. Potentiometers are classified also according to their uses. For example, mono. It has 3 terminals only for a potentiometer with rotor shaft, no? Then another, we have here the symbol. Then potentiometer with center tap, but still mono, no? Okay, there is an extension or auxiliary terminal. We call this one a center tap terminal. There is an special purpose of this terminal. It is usually used in audio section or audio system or audio amplifier system. This is applicable for installing, for example, kanang extra bass or loudness control. No, you can use this center tap, but they are still monaural or potentiometers, in other words, mono. Then we have also a stereo potentiometer. There are actually 6 terminals. There are 2 potentiometers which are installed in one housing. So as you rotate this rotor shaft, the resistance will be varied at the same time, no? Let us try. We have here, we will be using 2 multimeters. So connect here. And the other test pads of this multimeter will be connected to the other potentiometers, because there are 2 potentiometers here, because this potentiometer is stereo. Okay, we will set this to ohmmeter. The two multimeters will be set to ohmmeter range. So we have here. Okay, there are some technical problem here. So probably they are not connected very well. Okay, we have here. Okay. When you rotate, the resistances of these two potentiometers are varied at the same time because the two potentiometers are installed in one housing and there is only one rotor shaft that will control the resistances of these two potentiometers. So this is for stereo potentiometer. Okay. Then, like in monaural or mono potentiometer, there is also for stereo. There is a center tap we have here, and we have here the symbol, no? Just in case you are assembling an amplifier, then of course you have to install extra bass or loudness control. These two center taps will be used for the connection of this extra bass, no? Okay, there is a special purpose of these terminals here. Then, potentiometers actually are classified also according to their construction, no? We have also here the potentiometer slide type. Because the potentiometers here are rotor type. Because it is equipped with rotor shaft that will vary the resistances. Whereas here, this potentiometer is slide type. There is a lever here that will change the resistance. When you push this one upward, it varies the resistance probably lower. Or when you push this downward, it vary the resistance higher. No? This is mono slide potentiometer, and we have also stereo slide potentiometers. There are actually 6 terminals for the stereo, and there are only 3 terminals for the mono. The same as with the potentiometers here. Mono has only 3, and stereo has 6 terminals. But just in case there are no available potentiometers rotor type, you can replace it with slide type as long as the resistance are the same, no? As long as the resistances are the same. Okay. Under these fixed resistors, another, by the way, we almost overlooked this one because there are 2 classifications, or there are 2 types of variable resistors. These are the potentiometers and the rheostat. Rheostat also are also variable resistors, only of different purpose, no? Under rheostat, there are 2 classifications. We have the vertical adjust and the horizontal adjust. You can use either of this type or classification of rheostat, no? As long as the resistances are the same. This is called vertical adjust in the sense that when you adjust the slotted head here, your screwdriver is in vertical position. No, that's why it is vertical adjust. Whereas here, when you adjust the slotted head with screwdriver, it is horizontal. No, it is at this side. Kaya it is called horizontal adjust or side adjust, vertical adjust or top adjust. The resistance also can be varied because there are 3 terminals also, just like in potentiometer, no? Okay. Usually, rheostats are located inside the circuit, just like this one. Just like this one. This is a rheostat. It is usually found in a circuit, no? In a circuit. You can only adjust this one once you are repairing, assembling the TV board, then adjusting the voltage. This control is applicable only for the service technician. Unlike these controls that, although the viewers or the owners of the TV receiver, for example, can control this one, just like this control here, or the control of this SMD, no? Surface mount device rework station for soldering purposes. You can adjust the heat and the flow of the air and the intensity of heat So it is usually made of potentiometers. We have here also here, no? For the horizontal adjust, vertical adjust, adjusting the voltage, adjusting the frequencies, they are all made of potentiometers. Usually these potentiometers are located at the panels, in front panels or rear panels. Okay. For the types of peak resistors, okay, they are of different appearances, of course. The first three resistors here, such as carbon composition, carbon film, precision resistors, are color-coded, meaning to say, their resistances are given or can be read by reading their colors. There are 4 bands colors, or there are 5 bands resistors. There are 4 bands resistors or 5 band resistors. Meaning to say, 4 bands is 4 colors, 5 bands is 5 colors. The rest of the peak resistors are not color-coded. Meaning to say, their resistances are labeled on the surface of their body. It is a numerical value already, just like this one. 1.8 kilo ohms or 1.8 ohms. That is now the resistance of this resistor. Also here, the resistance, for example, is 200 ohms. So that resistance is the resistance of this resistor. No? So, numerically marked on the body of these resistors. Unlike these resistors that are color-coded. So, most resistors that are found in any electronic circuits are color-coded. Color-coded. Carbon film resistors. There are no cemented. There are no metal. There is only one type of resistor, and that is the color-coded resistor only. No? Because of its size, very small, it is very hard to write the numerical value. So, for sure, so that we can read the value, it should be in color-coded. No? Because it is very easy for eyes, clear for our eyes to read the colors. So, we need to translate the resistance from their colors given. Okay, there is a corresponding value of these colors. For example, brown, gray, red, gold. This is 1.8 kilo ohms, more or less 5%. No? Okay. Later on, we will study the reading of the color-coded resistors, no, into resistance, of course. Okay. There are still resistors which are not discussed here. These resistors here, the 3 resistors are called nonlinear resistors. We can also call them variable, but the resistance is varied by electrical means. They are called nonlinear resistors, unlike these resistors at top are linear resistors because the resistance is fixed, as what I have discussed a while ago. Why these resistors are called nonlinear? Because if we try to prove it using ohmmeter, we have here. Okay, using ohmmeter again. Connect. These 3 resistors are the light dependent resistor or the LDR, the thermistor, and the varistor. At first, we shall have first this resistor, the so-called LDR. Okay? The resistance now is around 450 kilo ohms. It is 450 kilo ohms. That is the resistance in this condition. But if we will cover it with dark color, if it is not under the exposure of light, the resistance will become high. Remember, in ohmmeter, the low resistance is at the rightmost portion, and the high resistance is at this leftmost portion, no? Okay? When we cover that LDR with dark color, the resistance is higher. The resistance here now is 1 mega ohm. But if it is uncovered, the surface of this LDR is under the exposure of light, the resistance is lower. Meaning to say, that's why it is called light-dependent resistor, because the resistance is dependent upon the intensity of light. No? The resistance is dependent upon the intensity of light. If it is covered, it is darker, the resistance is higher, around 1 mega ohm. But if it is not exposed, if it is not covered with dark color and it is exposed to light, the resistance is lower. It is somewhere at 100 kilo ohms. No? Okay. That is now the essence of LDR. LDR uses cadmium sulfide. Kaya it is sometimes called as CDS. The cadmium sulfide actually, which is used by this LDR resistor, is photosensitive material. Meaning to say, it is sensitive to light. Kaya nga, it is light-dependent resistor. The resistance is varied in accordance with light intensity. The other type of nonlinear resistor is this thermistor. Thermistor, by the way, is a combination or a verb phrase of thermal resistor. Thermal resistor. Okay, we have here. The resistance now during cold condition is the resistance is somewhere at 1 mega ohm. 1 mega ohm or 1 million ohms. But during cold condition. But if it is heat, the resistance is getting higher. No? It is getting lower because the resistance over here is low. No? So it moves up, meaning to say it is getting lower. The resistance is getting lower as soon as it is exposed to heat. Okay, let us try to use this workstation. Okay, observe this one. Okay. Once the body of this thermistor is hit by an electric ion, the pointer moves to a lower resistance. Oh, look at this one. So during cold condition, the resistance is high. Let us say 1 mega ohm. But as long as it is hit or it is exposed to heat, the resistance now is getting lower. So that is not the characteristic of thermistor. The resistance is varied in accordance to temperature. It becomes lower resistance when it is very warm, and it is high resistance when it is very cold. That's why it is called thermistor, thermal resistor. The resistance is varied in accordance with temperature. Then we have here a varistor. Varistor. Okay, we have here varistor. Again, the same with thermistor. The resistance is also varied in accordance with heat. You can see here that the resistance is almost 0 ohm. Almost 0 ohm, no? Almost 0 ohm. Meaning, switch on. When this is applied to a circuit, it is used as an electronic switch. No? It turns on the electronic circuit. But once it is hit, the resistance will become low. Okay, we have here. Okay. Now the resistance of this varistor is 0 ohm during cold condition. But once it is exposed to heat, the resistance is getting lower. Now it is getting lower. Oh, see? The pointer now is moving down. Okay? As soon as it is hit or exposed to heat, the resistance now is getting higher. When it moves down, meaning to say it is going to the higher resistance. As what I have said a while ago, that the low resistance of this ohmmeter is at this portion. That is why we have here 0 ohm and we have here 2 mega ohms. So when the pointer moves onward, that indicates that the resistance is getting higher. So those are the characteristics of the three nonlinear resistors. Okay? Next class, we will be studying the reading of these color-coded resistors. How to translate this coded value into measured value or resistance value. Okay?